Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today this video is going to be about an epiphany I had. Now, I've been doing a video on deep cleaning the Mustang, and I got the inside pretty well cleaned, and so my focus had to go onto the seats. These are the seats that was in it. Pretty tore up. I mean, there's just nothing good to look at. So I finished cleaning the inside, and I was like, what am I going to do about the seats? If I put these back in, it's still going to look terrible, no matter how clean the inside is. So I said, well, I have these. I have an 85 GT with the halos, but they are red. And if we look in, you know, it's dirty in here. We have some kind of mold or something growing on it. I'm not sure. So they'd have to get deep cleaned. So I went into my workshop and I sat down. And I was looking at the seats. I was looking at these. I was looking at these. So then I got on LMR and other sites and started looking at the upholstery kits for the Halo 85 GT seats. And it was just really expensive. And I didn't want to spend that kind of money, so I started thinking like most budget-minded people do. What else can I do for almost free or really cheap? Should I get some fabric dye and paint these seats black or whatever color I can get out of it? So I did try that a little bit on one of the rear seats from the red set, and the paint really turns rough, and then of course it's going to smell like spray paint in there, so I didn't want to do that. So I was sitting there in my little workshop, and I was contemplating, and I was looking back and forth, and then it hit me. Well, I wiggled a little bit. I said, man, the seat I'm sitting in is very comfortable. If you remember from the other videos, it's the seat from the Dakota. So I stood up and I looked at it like this, and I looked over here. I said, well, I have extra frames. And I have some nice seats. I wonder what would happen if I put the neon seat in the Mustang. So I swapped over the frames. So now I have neon SRT 4 seats in the Mustang on Mustang frames. Sits very good too. Feels real good. So we're gonna get this set up over here. I'm gonna get these seats set up, and I'm going to show you how I swapped the tracks from the Ford seats over to the Dodge seats. So let me get you set up on a tripod. I'll be right back. Sorry guys, last clip I kept saying frame when I meant to say just the tracks. So I'm just taking the tracks off the Ford seat and putting them on the Dodge seat. I am going to drill some holes, but that's no worries. So on the Ford, the tracks are independent from each other. There's nothing connecting either side of the tracks. So first thing you want to do, you take the spring off, make sure that the track is all the way down, which you can pull it down by hand, and then you press the spring, take it out. This just makes it easier to move the track now. So now it just moves so much easier without the spring in it. So then you get the top bolts, there's one on either side, 10 millimeters. Then you slide the tracks up and get the bottom bolts. On this side, it's probably best with two hands, but squeeze the lever like you're moving the seat, and you slide the track up. A lot easier with two hands. As you can see, there's the bolt. Okay, so I get these off. On the Dodge, these came out of a neon SRT 4, and then they put the Dodge Dakota tracks on them. A couple of ways I can tell is the bolts they have going through, they have nuts on the other side. These are brand new bolts. So, and plus there's, once I get these off, you can tell that it's been modified a little bit. So I'm gonna get these four off, top and bottom on either side. These tracks are not independent. As you see, this is the part that moves the seat. It is connected to both sides, so they go together. As these go independently, it's pretty much just your weight that's moving the other side. All right, so let me get set up and take these off, and then we'll see where we're at there. Okay, there's one thing I forgot to mention. These tracks aren't going to change from position or lengthwise here, but once I take them off, they'll change here. So what I want to do is measure this to make sure that ends up being the same on when I mount it to the other seat. It's a little different than the last one. The last one, both of them was exactly 9 inches. This is 9 inches. This is 9 inches 1/8. I'll see. I think this seat was harder to get in and out, so I think it's because these were spread out a little bit more. So I'm gonna put them at 9 inches. If I have to, I'll just make the hole a little bigger if they don't fit. So let me go ahead and take these off. Switch over to my 13. I got those nuts on the back. Okay, those are off. One thing I did forget, on the side of the track here is actually where the seat bolt latch bolts into. Just the Dodge seat bolt latch. All I used was a T45 Torx bit, just like you do seat belts. And there's the seat tracks removed. So now what I'll do, after I find my tape measure, is on the last one, you see here where they cut it, looks like some tabs on it from the SRT4 seats, and then I think maybe they just drilled those holes out a little bit more. So what I come up with on the last one was, if I drill this bottom hole out right here on either side, and then this one kind of seems lined up a little bit more, I have to do some measuring, drill out these holes a little bit more, then the factory Mustang ones will fit into it, and it'll give me just a little bit of room that I can wiggle it to get that 9 inches in between. If I have these holes a little bit bigger, I can wiggle them to get that. Once I have that set, tighten it up, and it should go right in. So let me drill these holes out and be right back. So the measurements are as follows. From this side, this hole over to this hole is 14 inches. Same up here, 14 inches. From this hole to this hole is 12 7/8. So over here on the neon, the neon seats, from this top hole down to this very last hole here is 12 7/8. If you see inside, this middle frame is still under there, so I'll have to drill that out. So side to side, or I mean top to bottom, we have good measurements. Now when you get to this, it's not 14, it's like 13 3/4. I can't hold these together. 13 3/4, so I'm missing about 1/4 of an inch. So if I can get these holes to be 1/8 inch over on either side, that will make up my 1/4, and then that's where the bolt will go. So the hole will be a little big for the nut and bolt, but we'll just put bigger washers on them, and then I can go to the store and get some bigger bolts. But for now, they'll hold in there, and I can just go get some bigger bolts and come back, take the seats out, clean it up real good, paint the tracks. So yeah, let's get these holes drilled out. I'm just using the step bit. I'm not sure, I can't remember, the unibit, whatever they're called. Yeah, and then I can just make the holes bigger accordingly. And as I'm going, you know, I'll hit 1 or 2 holes, and then I'll measure it. And then once I get it right, I'll bolt the tracks on and measure until I get that 9 inches separation on the actual flanges on the brackets. Get that 9 inches, and then it should just drop right in. The first one dropped right in like no problem. It went in easier than the factory ones come in and out. So yeah, let's get these drilled out and be right back. Okay, so we have the holes drilled. This one's kind of in here, just, oh, that one fell. The one on the right I do have in. I still got just a little loose, so I can move it around if I need to. So what I did, you can see how big I made this hole. So, and I also had to drill out that back piece right there, just so the bolt, when it gets tightened, has a little extra room to go. The bottom, I just big enough to get the bolt through there. So let's put this back up. Now you can see how much room I have to play. So right there, to right there. So I have some room to play. So that way, when I put that bolt in with a nut behind it to get my 9 inches across, where's that one? Oh, it's up here. So to get my 9 inches across from that one to that one, I have a little bit of room to play here. That doesn't make the hole in the frame any bigger, just the hole in the seat. All right, let's bolt this up and see how it goes. So I didn't run into a small issue as I was trying to get this width to the 9 inches. I did make the holes bigger down here to give me some more room to adjust it, but where they had cut this off, there's a spot sticking out where they didn't grind it flush. So as I put this on here, and it might be right, whenever I tighten it down, it hits that spot, it brings it back, which I can't get that measurement over here. So let me grind that down, and then we'll try to get this one more time. All right, got the seat tracks bolted in, and I do have my correct spacing in between here. Of course, this one's just sliding down a little bit because I'm also on the bottom, so it looks natural. Let's get it in the car and see how it looks. And there you have it, Dodge Neon SRT4 seats and a Fox body. They don't look the greatest, but they look a lot better than what was in it. So yeah, nothing, some of the colors don't match, you know, as far as on the center console. I'll re-dye that, trying to get it a little bit darker and get everything kind of match. You'll see in my next video, I did get the dash out to one color, so you'll see that in the cleaning video. But for right now, we have some nice seats in here. Now that I won't be so ashamed to take it for a ride, might go get some gas in it. Maybe go grab me a drink. Alright, we'll see you in the next video when we get back to cleaning on this thing. Thanks for stopping by and watching. So I just wanted to end the video with a quick recap. I took the car out, went for a ride for a good while, and then went to a friend's house. And then, you know, just drove around a little bit. The seats feel great. They're solid. So much firmer, and you know, you feel more planted in the seat versus the factory seats are real soft foam. You know, good for a long trip. These are more, you know, sturdier and firmer. So, you know, I think they're great. I really like them. You know, they look good in it. Definitely gonna have to redo the back seat. I'm gonna have to take it out, probably do a rear seat delete in it, and try to get everything else to match color wise. I will be putting a darker color carpet in it, probably black, and same with the door panels to get that gray carpet off of it. But yeah, they fit good. So I just wanted to ask, you know, are you guys sacrificial? Do you hate when people put, you know, LS's in Mustangs? I hate when that happens, but this is a little different. So Mopar seats in a Ford, would you take it or leave it? What would you do? I mean, considering what I had to work with, I think this is the best option. But you guys leave a comment down below and tell me what you think. All right, we'll see you on the next video.